enter in the realm of the study of the Bhagavad Gita, of the yoga philosophy in the humble mood, in the mood of request, in the mood of humility. So join me as we recite the invocation mantras. Om Agyanatimirandasya Jananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tashmai Shri Gurave Namaha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Sarasvati Devi Gauravani Pacharine Nirvisesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Desatarine Vanchakalpataruvhyascha Kripasindhuvya Evacha Patitanam Pavanevyo Vaishnavyo Namo Namaha Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Brinda. Everyone, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hello sa mga bagong join. And sino nakakatanda ng ating acronym sa ating chapter 11 and 12? Get your notebook. Let's see who got the memory. Pag lagi ka daw nag-yoga, lumalakas yung memory mo eh. Tingnan natin sino may memory. Wala! I'll show you. Yan, Rupa and God. Ating Rupa means universal form. Thank you very much sa mga nagpasa na kanilang assignment regarding the universal form of Krishna. Request, kasi si Arjuna is in request. He's not demanding. And that should be in our mood. In the mood of humility. In the mood of request. And Krishna showed his universal form. For what reason na in-establish to? To prevent the imposter, kasi marami nagkapanggap na incarnation nila God. Because of the false ego, thinking oneself na I'm God. Diba? At the same time, to establish yung supremacy ni Krishna. And it is not just philosophical na pag-uusap. Talagang pinakita ni Krishna yun. Na siya yung Supreme Personality of Godhead. Many incarnation or many devotees ni Krishna are claiming na sila yung Son of God. Yes, they are the Son. They are the Prophet of God. Yes, they are the Prophet. But Krishna claims that he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So that's very clear. We cannot just speculate and speculate and make our own assumption based on our fanatics and sentimental lang. Baka nga pag buhay sila, sabi nila, hindi, sinabi ko nga prophet ako, sinabi ko nga son ako, ba't niyo ako sinasabing God? So yes, they establish kung sino yung Supreme Personality of Godhead. Aside that they could show the universal form, dapat nakasulat din sila sa scriptures. Could be acknowledged by the guru and the saintly person. Guru, sadhu, and sastra. So, dinescribe ni Krishna yung opulence niya, yung supreme universal form, dinescribe ni Sanjay, and dinescribe ni Arjuna. Then Arjuna prayed. Kasi sobrang bewildered siya. Who are you? And what is your purpose? Sabi ni Krishna, time, I am the destroyer of everything. And he prayed, sana pakita mo na lang yung four-arm form mo kasi I'm bewildered by this vast na manifestation of yours. So, pinakita ni Krishna yung four-arm form niya and pinakita niya yung arm form, two-arm form. And we discuss about Godhead, the difference between personalists and impersonalists, demigods and demigods as well, and the options, different stages ng ating development sa progress of Bhakti. And it is an elevator, an express elevator. And devotees' disposition. Very dear sa kanila, si Krishna. And si Krishna, very dear sa mga devotees. Because there's a personal relationship. Not presumption lang. Not light, not voidism. That is still material. This is the connection, the real yoga. So inhale. We are entering in our chapter 13, the essence of Bhagavad Gita, nature, the enjoyer, and consciousness. Yung last 6 chapters in terms of the 3 sections ng Bhagavad Gita in the understanding. First 6 chapters kasi is discussing the knower of the body, which is si Krishna and also the soul. Middle 6 chapters, we describe about si Krishna as a superior and us as a subordinate, part and parcel. And may 4 kinds of pious men who approach us. We discuss about that as well, chapter 7. Last 6 chapters, ito yun. Explains how the living entity comes in contact with the material nature. Galing tayo spiritual world, napunta tayo rito. So what happened? Bakit nawala yung Sachit Ananda natin, yung eternally blissful and knowledge natin? And paano tayo alis dito sa influence ng material nature? So letter W natin sa wise. Kasi si Krishna is saying a lot of terminologies. Again, just for Arjuna to question. Andito pa rin sila sa middle ng battlefield. Di pa nagsisimula yung war. Nag-uusap pa rin sila. Ito pa rin yung Bhagavad Gita. Ito pa rin yung scenario. So may mga terminologies na binigay si Krishna and Arjuna asks, ano to mga to? Prakriti is the material nature. What we have now, the energy of Krishna. Lahat na nakikita mo is material nature. Solid, liquid, gas. Kung ano pa yan. Purusha is the enjoyer of matter. Sino yung nag-enjoy? The Kshetra is the field of action. Kaya Kurukshetra, dun yung battlefield. Saan nanggagaling yung action? I mean, saan yung lugar? Or venue. And Kshetrajna, it is the entity experiencing the field of action. Sino yung mga yon? So, dalawa yon. Later, i-discuss natin. Jnana is the knowledge, of course. Kaya may Jnana Yoga, saka may Jnana. Material knowledge and Jnana Yoga, spiritual knowledge. Jnana is the object of knowledge. Sila ba yung, or ano, yung inaaral sa knowledge na to? So, i-discuss natin further in this chapter. So, in-double natin well-taught questions kasi si Arjuna is thinking about this. In this succeeding na mga slides natin and verses, Krishna answered 3, 4th, and 5th, 3rd, 4th, and 5th question. Kshetra, Kshetrajna, and Gyan. So, Krishna explains the field of activities as the body. Ito yon. And by which the soul engages within his allotted sphere of activities within this material world. So, nakasakay sa body is sino? Yung soul. The soul, the knower of the field, has knowledge of his own field of activities. So, us, the soul, ito yung kshetra natin, yung field natin, kaya gumagalaw itong body na to. Yung activities na to, kasi nakasakay tayo rito. So, knower ng field na to, may nakakaalam dito sa field na to, is us, the soul. Hindi ko pwede malaman kung ano yung meron sa body mo. Hindi ko pwede nga pagalawin yan. Krishna as a super soul is the knower of all fields of activities. So, yung pinag-aralan natin, all the bodies and all the living entities, may kanya-kanyang soul individually. But Krishna expanded himself as a super soul o Kshirodakashaya Vishnu or the Paramatma. In all living entities, moving and non-moving, may bawat soul yon, individual. And si Krishna andun din. So, dalawa. So, si Krishna yung knower ng all field. Alam niya yung meron sa akin, alam niya yung meron kay Alet, alam niya yung meron kay Diana, kay RJ. Kasi andun si Krishna rin. Pero, hindi ko malalaman kung ano yung meron sa inyo. Hindi ko magpagalaw yung body ninyo. Unless mag-agree kayo sa sabihin ko. Pero that's Kshatrajña, and Gyan. Knowledge is to know the field and its knower. Knowledge is kung bakit tayo nag-aaral. Diba? Sa school, knowing kung ano meron, anong capability ng body, how to handle yung mga material things sa paligid. So, malinaw ba yung tatlo? Kshetra is the body. This is the field. Sino yung knower neto? The soul. Sino yung supreme knower? Is the super soul. Kasi yung super soul is expanded everywhere. Krishna expand himself. Kaya si Krishna nakaupo sa puso of everyone. Then knowledge is knowing this body and the knower. Items of knowledge, letter I, it answers number 5. Again, tinuloy niya yung dito. Diba? 5. Yan. Tinuloy niya sa items of knowledge. Essential quality ng knowledge. Para maintindihan natin talaga yung knowledge is we should accept a teacher. Diba? You go to school, you accept it. I'm a teacher. And knowing the spiritual knowledge, we should accept a spiritual master or a spiritual teacher. Ignorance is anything speculated beyond this item of knowledge is nonsense. Yung mga hula ka lang. Feeling ko ganito. Theory ko, ganito yung creation ng earth. May sumabog. Tapos, napakaganda nung kinalabasan. Try mo create ng blast or pasabog ng isang car or ng isang maliit na bagay. Tingnan mo kung may gandang kakalabasan. Very perfect. Lumulutang yung mga planets. Umiikot. Ang ganda ng nature. So, very impossible. Hanggang ngayon, theory pa rin yan. And it was being debunked. There's a theory of evolution is also coming from the monkeys para naging humans. Also, very nonsense. Diba? Kung nagkaroon ng evolution, dapat wala na yung species ng monkeys. And mag-evolve pa tayo. Diba? Pero it's not happening. But kasi, it's not true. So, just spending our time having that theory is just nonsense. Hula-kahula lang tayo. Doon nga nagangyari yung chismis, kakahula lang. Hindi galing sa right source and walang confirmation. Kaya yung knowledge should be coming from the spiritual teacher and my scriptures and my saintly person. Orada charan, paano yung tinatanggal yung capability ng tao mag-isip? Yeah, you could always think. Diba? Pero hindi mo kailangan manghula. May mga philosophical speculation with all the evidence, scriptures and all, sa teachers, na mapapagtugma mo. Hindi kayo mag-create ng out of something. Para natin malalaman if we're progressing sa spiritual life natin in Bhakti Yoga, this is the greatest quality. You will see, person develops humility and pridelessness. Some, just like yung kung natandaan yung 10.10 natin na chapter, hindi sila may Brahman na hindi matalino, illiterate, pero he's doing his devotional service, Bhakti Yoga with love and devotion. Knowledge could be there, could be given. Pero the real test ng progress ng isang tao is yung humility niya and pridelessness. Kasi ina-apply niya sa sarili niya, sa buhay niya. So, bakit natin minsan dinidiscuss yung miseries ng life? In the scriptures, kung nagbabasa ka ng Bhagavad Gita, lagi dinidiscuss yung may birth, may death, may old age, may disease. Radha-chara na lang may class, ilang beses pinag-usapan yung death. ng best pinag-usapan yung depression, ng best pinag-usapan anxiety, ng best pinag-usapan yung old age, yung mga sakit. Kasi, this is the nature of the material world. If in love na in love ka dito, attached na attached ka sa material world. And you'll be much more frustrated. Kasi ang bibigay sa'yo ng material world is dualities. Happiness and distress. Pwede kang mangarap the future is bright, pero hindi mo mangyayari na paradise to. Kung gusto mo ng ganon, and then go back home, back sa spiritual world, kay Krishna. Spiritual world. And the nature na ito, ganon. Kumbaga, wag ka malungkot kung nasa Pilipinas ka, mag-summer sa tag-ulan. Looking for winter ka or spring. Ito yung nature ng Pilipinas tag-ulan. Tatlo nga daw yung tatlo daw yung weather ng Philippines. Ng season sa Philippines, tatlo. Kala nila dalawa. The summer season, the rainy season, saka Christmas season. Kasi September pa lang, tumutulog na sa mga mall yung mga Christmas song. So, doon nahati yung season ng Pilipinas. Pero kidding aside, yeah, this material world is composed of happiness and distress. Bakit natin i-discuss yun? For one to be able to not be bewildered. Pag nangyari to, ba't umulan, ba't lumindol, diba? Ba't ka malulungkot? Nangyayari yan eh. Diba may virus, nangyayari yan. Diba? May karma, nangyayari yun. May mamamatay, huwag ka malungkot. Yeah, of course, you will be affected. Pero hindi mo kailangang ika-depress yun. Kasi mangyayari talaga yan eh. Huwag ka mag-alala, mangyayari din sa'yo yun. Diba? Tatanda ka rin or mamamatay ka rin. Huwag ka lang magmadali. The best process to make home life pleasant is maging Krishna conscious. Do these things in your own home. Make it your own temple. You chant, you honor prasadam. Prasadam, again, is a spiritualized food offered kay Krishna. It's karma-free. O yan yung spiritualized food na yun. This is our plant-based food. Mode of goodness na food. Sattvic food. Discussion of Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam with the devotees, the sadhu sangha. Deity worship is the the little temple you worship in the altar. This is not idol worship. We will discuss this further. Be convinced that I am the subordinate. Yes, in the humility, humble mood, we know that we are the part and parcel and Krishna is the supreme. You cannot think, I want to be God. It will never happen. Actually, ayun yung thinking natin bakit tayo nandito sa material world. We wanted to lord it over yung material nature or maging supreme controller. So, wag kang maging supreme controller kasi ikaw lang yung toxic dun sa bahay niyo kaya ikaw yung toxic sa relationship. You're not the supreme controller. Sarili mo nga hirap kontrolin eh. Hirap nga kontrolin ng mind. Kaya dapat 60 beats per minute lang puso mo yung beats ng puso mo. Yung mga magawa yun eh. We're not the supreme controller. Yung emotion nga natin, hindi natin makontrol kung ano yung magiging reaction natin eh. Pag may nakita tayo, may nabalitaan tayo. So definitely, we are not the controller. We're the subordinate. In the humble position. It doesn't mean you have to lower your self-esteem. No. This is humility. Different. Very different sa self-esteem, low self-esteem. So if you want to compete with God, yeah, you will be frustrated. Kasi walang God na sumasakit yung ngipin. O kaya kailangan matulog kasi pagod na. O kaya hindi depressed, no? Just delusional lang yan. So yes, these are other qualities if one is gaining knowledge of yung humility, pridelessness, non-violence, you perform ahimsa. We're becoming tolerant. The best teacher natin sa learning and tolerance is our enemy. Pag ano ka sa mga provoking situations, malalaman mo tolerant ka na pag di mo na pinapatulan. Pero kung nagsosolo ka lang, hindi mo pwedeng sabing tolerant ka kasi walang mga triggers. Simplicity, yes, we are in the lifestyle of simple living, higher thinking. We spend much more of our time and energy to learn higher thinking rather than nakafocus lang tayo sa material things. Hindi ibig sabihin, i-renounce mo yung mana sa'yo ng mayaman mong lolo or yung bahay mo dyan, no? Use it rather as your facility for spiritual advancement. So, madami to. I'll forward. Cleanliness, andyan. Steadiness. Sa umpisa, exciting tong spiritual life. There's a beginner's enthusiasm. Just like a lot of things. Pag bago phone mo, ingat na ingat ka. Afterwards, hinahayaan mo na lang. Yung relationship, ganun din. So, steadiness is the maintenance of it. Happy or not, may pera ka, wala. You do your sadhana. You chant. You attend the class, diba? The association, the books. That's steadiness. Anong dumadating sa'yo? Ano yung pagiging resolute? Resolute is very fixed in determination, kahit ano mangyari. Yes, napakahirap ng pridelessness. Pero, it's the practice. Kailangan natin gawin. Old habits die hard. So, yan. I'll forward this everything to you. Absence of false ego. Same. So, letter S is not super soul and the soul. So, 6th question, Gyanam, the object of knowledge. We always studied about a lot of things. Academic, diba? Manood ka ng mga ano-anong Discovery Channel and all. We're studying about matter. Different kinds of matter. Amazing, diba? Pero the object of knowledge is, sino yung? Beware of too much humility. It's a form of pride. Beware if you're claiming that you're humble. That is pride. So, the object of knowledge is the super soul. Kasi siya naman yung source ng lahat. Ang tanong lang, paano ka tatawid dun sa matter? Paano ka pupunta beyond? How will you know that? So yes, knowable, sabi sa chapter 2, we discuss about the soul and the body. And super soul is this. The living entity in the material world does follow the ways of life, enjoying the three modes of material nature. Thus, this is due to his association with that material nature. Thus, he meets with good and evil among various species. So, the soul is eternally blissful and knowledgeable. We are from the spiritual world. Pagpunta natin dito, this is the creation of Krishna in this material energy. Kumbaga may association tayo doon. And kung saan yung association natin, we are being influenced, whether we like it or not. Diba? Pag pumunta ka sa lugar na puro tatagalog, tapos Bisaya ka, kahit di mo gustuhin yun, naririnig ko palagi, you'll learn. You'll adopt. Association. Pumunta ka sa mga spiritual na mga barkada, you'll adopt. Wala kang taste dun sa mga bisyo. And if you're straight edge, pag pumunta ka dun sa mga mabisyo mga tao, inuman araw-araw or gabi-gabi, diba? One way or the other, mahawa ka. That's association. So us, having the association in this material nature, we are being influenced with the three modes of nature. Natandaan niyo pa ba to? Ano yung three modes? Mode of Sattvic, Raja, and Tama. So, yan. So, us being influenced by that. So, galing spiritual world now, para tayong puppet on the string. This is the difference of the super soul sa kayong soul. Super soul is all-pervading. Nasa paligid siya. Lahat. He's the original source. Maintainer of all. You can maintain everything. He's the super knower. Us, we know lang yung iniisip natin sa yung body natin. Si Krishna, alam niya yung iniisip ng lahat. Iniisip ni Gail, ano nangyari sa body ni Gail. Ako hindi mo malalaman yun. Ganun din kay McCoy, ganun din kay Carla. Alam ni Krishna kasi andun din siya. Kaya super knower. And the object of knowledge natin is studying this, and we want to know Him personally. Gyanam. So, he's also the enjoyer, letter E natin. Kasi, this answers the first and second question. Material nature and Purusha, the enjoyer of matter. This material nature, and we cannot really enjoy. We could have temporary happiness. So, hindi talaga siya happiness kung temporary siya. Nawawala. Or we could say na-entertain lang tayo. But the eternal happiness is different. That's very spiritual. Bakit si Krishna yung enjoyer of matter? Siya yung Purusha. Kasi lahat nga, kung natandaan nyo, lahat papunta kay Krishna. Si Krishna lahat may-ari. You worship money, you worship demigods, lahat papunta kay Krishna pa rin yun. Indirectly yung ginagawa natin. So what we should do is be on that express elevator. Hindi ka magpapaligaw-ligaw lang. You worship the light. Still, aura ni Krishna yon. The conditioned soul's desires to control and enjoy matter binds him to this material nature. Habang iniisip natin na tayong controller, sobrang attached tayo, dito tayo nababind. Hindi tayo natatrap. Thinking na we are this, I'm in this title, diba? Habang ayun yung meditation natin. So, doon tayo nababind. And birth after birth, death after death. Paulit-ulit tayo ng ikot dito. And even this lifetime, yung thinking and yung mga feeling natin, paulit-ulit lang. Happiness and distress are due to Purusha's identity with Prakriti. So the source of suffering natin is identifying ourselves sa mga bagay na we are attached to. Tapos pag nawala yun, diba, lungkot. Pinaghirapan ko tong career na to, tapos nag-pandemic lang, nawala na yung title kong brand manager or CEO. Diba? Hindi na ako nakapag-art show or hindi na ako nakapag-concert. Kasi we are identifying, tapos you will be depressed. Na-identify natin yung sarili natin doon. No, it may be our achievement, pero hindi tayo yon. Hindi rin tayo nga yung problema eh. So the source of suffering is our attachment. This is because of illusory or Maya. So this is super soul, the supreme enjoyer, transcendental enjoyer. Lahat naman kasi papunta sa kanya. Overseer and permitter, lahat nakikita niya. If he doesn't allow, hindi mangyayari. Maintainer, at the same time, our real friend. Kasi si Krishna kasama mo in your heart. Kasama mo siya kahit anong body yung i-take mo. Kahit mapunta ka sa body ng worm, body ng tree, a male body, a female body, pumunta ka sa heaven or sa hell, kasama mo si Krishna sa Super Soul. Kaya siya yung real best friend. Hindi ka niya iiwanan. Kahit saan ka mapunta. He's just waiting na ma-awaken ka doon sa illusion. So yes, this modern society, ang problema is practically walang education about spiritual matters. All material lang. Yeah. That's very true. So hearing is very important as told by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, an incarnation of Krishna. Because this is how we purify ourselves. Dito pumapasok yung knowledge. The way we chant, we hear as well. So don't worry, I'll forward everything to you para you can have much more detail. So that is wise. While thought of question, Krishna was asked by Arjuna, yung mga items na to. The body, ito yung field. We are not the body. Ito lang yung field of action. And paano gumagalaw to? Kasi may consciousness, which is the evidence ng soul. Andun yung soul. So pag nakakita ka ng patay, andun pa rin yung body. Pero wala na yung soul. And kasama dito is the super soul. So yung soul, tayo, alam natin yung meron sa body. Si Krishna, alam niya rin kasi dito rin siya. But at the same time, si Krishna is everywhere sa lahat ng living entity. He expanded himself. So he's the supreme knower. And the knowledge is not just studying this body, this matter, or the other entities and the other matter. Knowing who is beyond this. So that's the difference also. Ay yung items of knowledge, the difference of soul and super soul. We are the inferior. We're the energy. And si Krishna yung enjoyer. The Purusha is the superior. We are part and parcel lang. One drop lang tayo ng ocean water. Same qualities, pero the abilities, the quantity is different. Hindi kayang gumawa ng tsunami yung isang drop of ocean water. So, hindi mo kailangan maging proud. In the process of knowing that we are advancing is pridelessness and humility. So, si Christian Supreme Enjoyer, and inhale because we're gonna talk about the inner battles ng mga tao. As we know, we are the super soul. We are not the super soul. We are the minute soul, very small. From the spiritual world, napunta tayo rito sa material world. And we have the association of the three modes of material nature. That's chapter 14. The mode of goodness, mode of passion, and mode of ignorance. So, tatalaan nyo na. Sattva gun, Rajagun, and Tamagun. So that is why this is trap. Piggy. No, GPI. GPI. Yan. Pero kailangan mo balik-balik na rin pa. Pero GPI yan. Goodness, passion, ignorance. And we are trapped kasi na-influence tayo sa mga to. The process of yoga and bhakti yoga is hindi tayo matrap sa three modes na to. Kasi these are all material. That is chapter 14. So, this is chapter 14 na tayo. Bakit siya trap? Bakit siya always inner battle? We will know. The three modes, ay yung letter 3 natin. This is just like rope. Kaya tatawag siyang guna. Sattva guna. The rope of goodness. The rope of ignorance. The rope of passion. So, di ba parang yung puppet on the string. Kala nyo we are in control. Pansinin nyo. Pag nasa sattva gun tayo, nasa mode of goodness tayo, ang bait-bait natin. Pero pag ando ka na sa passionate natin, doon tayo nagalit, we're artistic and all, sa mode of passion. Tapos minsan na mabadrip ka or nasa lower nature ka, you're depressed, sa mode of ignorance ka. So now tell me, are you really in control? Kaya mong puntahan yun sa the rest. Yung three modes na yon, the rest of the day. Kaya pwede ka magpaikot-ikot sa mode na yon. Diba, iba nga moody, kaya nang tumawid-tawid lang. Uncontrolled. So this is a depiction. Above this mode of material nature is Krishna himself. He is not part of this. Hindi siya controlled ng modes. Rather, energy niya yun. So we are in this path. Hindi tayo puppet on a string. So yung battle mo palagi is kung nasaang mode ka. So this is the activities ng mga, or para malaman natin yung sarili natin, who is in the mode of goodness. Those who are in the sense of happiness, satisfaction, knowledge, and superiority. This is not out of pride, but yeah, he's influential. In the mode of goodness. Those who are in passion, attachment to productive activities, yung mga result. Very passionate sila dun sa mga results, sa mga activities nila, sa mga desires nila. So that binds them sa mode of passion. Those in their mode of goodness, they're in madness, they're in indolence or laziness, saka sleep. Lethargic lang. Procrastination, ignorance. So minsan lalaro ka dito in the rest of the day. Kasi even time, in the morning is the mode of goodness, middle of the day is the passion, ignorance sa gabi. Diba? Kaya mahirap mag-chant sa gabi. Kasi the mode of ignorance is very strong. Kaya maraming crime, maraming gumagawa ng mga abominable activities sa gabi. Iba na yung takbo ng isip ng mga tao. They're influenced by that. Generally. Kasi nagulat ako sa ibang places. Umaga pa lang nagiinuman na yung mga tao. Or inumaga na sila. So yes, ito yung mga characteristic na in the goodness illuminates the gates of the body with knowledge. And iba yung itsura ng mga tao in the mode of goodness. Parang medyo charming sila. frees one from sinful reaction. Then those who are in the mode of passion, they're very intense. Unlimited desires and longing. So, andyan yung mga frustration nila pag hindi na makuha. Pag nawala sa kanila yung nakuha nila, nag-lament naman sila. They're very attached to it. And those are in the mode of ignorance. They're in delusion, thinking themselves, delusional sila. They're God. Or taas ng tingin nila sa sarili nila. Sila yung I, me, mine. They're in darkness. Diba? The feeling of depression and anxiety, diba? They're in the dark. Also in madness. And of course, inertia. Talagang scientific inertia. Ano pala, no? Walang ginagawa. Tamad lang. Diba? So, kailangan mo labanan to. Katamaran. This is tutuloy natin to later. Ha? But you could see, ito pa lang, ano yung activities na saan ka ngayon palagi? Ilang percentage ka na sa mode of goodness, sa mode of passion and ignorance. It's not na 100% ka sa mode of goodness. Nagalaro yan. Balikin natin ito in a while. So that is the 3 modes. Material nature is the mother, supplying the living entity with the body. So we are the soul, and si material nature nagbibigay sa atin ng body natin. That is matter. Depende sa karma natin. Kung karma mo mapunta sa body na to, ay yung bibigay ni material nature. So it means that we are not this body. Just like analogy to sa India. Scorpion lays egg in the rice. Tapos kahit sealed yung rice, makita, may scorpion doon. Or pag nakita mo yung barley na lang, kahit sealed yung barley na grain. Diba? Kahit nakasealed yun, pag tagal-tagal may mga insect na. Hindi galing sa barley yung mga insects na yun. Galing yun sa mga eggs. Before pa lang ipack yun, iseal yun, kahit nilinis nila, may mga nakakalusot ng mga eggs pa rin doon. Same. Yung analogy doon. We're not coming from this material world. Galing tayo sa spiritual world. We are just taking the body here. Kasi may mga desire tayo. May mga karma tayo. Saka may modes of nature tayong kailangan i-perform. So that's very clear. We're not from here. This is not your home. Temporary place lang natin tong material world. But of course, kailangan mo alagaan yung bahay mo. Dito bahay to, hindi na ako mag-lock. You have to take care of your facilities. Diba? Again, same duties and responsibilities. You must do it, and you must do it better. Best even. Rather yung thinking lang natin ng before. Ngayon kasi alam mo na this is your facility to use sa spiritual na activities. So yes, we're just here. So anong destination ng isang tao kapag nilive niya yung buhay niya? More on the mode of goodness, more on the ignorance, or more on the passion. In the mode of goodness, he will go to higher planetary systems. Heaven. Again, material ang heaven. Nasa material world ang heaven. Pwede siya maging demigods in the next lives. Those in the mode of passion, balik sila rito kasi attached sila sa result. Attached sila dito sa pamilya nila, sa bahay, diba, sa pera, sa name. Of course, pwede attach ka sa bahay mo pero kang karma mo maging ipis. O ipis ka sa bahay mo dati. Same. Diba, alam mo yung meme na namatay ka na nga, pinagbantay ka pa ng kamag-anak mo. Magiging butterfly ka pa. Diba? Inutusan ka pa maging butterfly. Attach ka doon Diba? Kaya nga, nasa culture that they do cremation. Kasi pag namatay ka na, umalis ka na sa body mo, hindi mo na babalikan pa yung body mo. Nakikita mo, sinusunog nila. Diba? The rest, kaya maraming ghost sa cemetery kasi feeling nila makuha pa nila yung body nila. Pwede pa to. Or, hindi ko pa na-experience, pero alam mo yung naging meme kasi to Alam mo yung nagbubuhat ng casket, tapos sumasayaw sila. Napanood ko dun sa pamangkin ko. Ten. Sumasayaw. Sabi nila, hindi ko na-experience yun, pero may monk ako naging nakilala. Na-try niya yun ilang beses. Sa mga barkada niya, sa punk scene siya. Ang dami namamatay na tropa. Kasama siya doon. And habang palapit na papalapit sa sementeryo, pabigat na pabigat yung yung casket. All the lost ghosts. Oy, may bagong body, baka pwede pa to, try natin. Kasi may mga desire pa sila, attachment pa sila. Ang dami silang unfinished business. Kaya nga pag nalaman ng mga ghosts na may third eye kayo, lalapitan ka lalo. Kasi ang dami nilang request. Diba? O baka pwede mo gawin to, may hustisya. Diba? Ano to? Sana bigay sa'yo yung mga account number niya o kaya yung mga kayamanan nakatago. Eh, hindi ganun eh. Bibigay sa'yo yung mga problema, yung mga attachment niya dati. Diba? So, yan. Sobrang attachment nila. So, yung iba sa kanila nagiging ghost. Of course, if they sobrang passionate nila, sobrang lamentation, they take their lives. Diba? Ghost sila or untimely death, accident, ano. It doesn't mean dito kagad sila. Of course, pag kailangan nilang pumunta sa lower planetary system, like the people in the mode of ignorance, diba? Doon muna sila bago sila bumalik sa earthly plane. So, ito yung destination after death. So, if 30% kang goodness, 40% kang passion, 30% kang ignorance, ganun din yung next lives mo. Bago ka bumalik sa sa pagkatao. Pupunta mo yung mga yan. So, this is the result of action. Kapag you're living your life in a mode of goodness, you're experiencing pureness. Diba? Andyan yung knowledge. If you're living your life in the mode of passion, andyan yung misery. Touch ka eh. Andyan yung greed. And if you're living your life in the mode of ignorance, and the mode of foolishness, madness, same, in illusion. It's resultant of action. So ito yun. Obstacles in the modes of goodness. Mahirap pa rin mag-perform ng spiritual life kahit nasa mode of goodness ka. Bakit? Komportable. Ba't ba ako mag-chant? Charan. Okay na ako eh. Happy life, happy family, wealthy, puno yung ref namin. Diba? Wala kaming utang. Kahit may pandemic, masaya kami. Sometimes it's gonna be, it will be an obstacle, an illusion na ang sarap, ang garbo ng buhay. Diba? Those who are in this stage, tapos they're seeking for more, they're wise, really wise. Kasi yung iba, no choice but to search for spiritual life. Kasi ang dami nangyayari sa buhay natin. Miseries, families, diba, our mind, diba, money, pandemic. Pero paano yung mga hindi apektado ng pandemic? Lahat ng facilities meron sila. Hindi nila kailangan mag-work. Diba? Kasi it will be also a hindrance sa spiritual activities. Could be also attached sila doon. Or hindi, naman kami, nagagawa kami ng mga philanthropic activities. Nagkapatayo yung dad ko ng mga hospital pag may extra money kami. Diba? Yung iba actually nagsusunog lang ng karma kasi yung pinanggalingan ng money nila is sama-sama. They know, yung mga rich person, they know. Lalo na yung mga old rich, how to burn the karma. Kasi yung money is carrier ng karma. How to burn the karmas. Gawa sila ng mga donations sila, di ba? Papagawa sila ng mga temple, kalsada, hospital, school. They want to maintain this status even the next lives. So that's good karma. Alam nila yun. Pero it's a hindrance. Good karma is not the goal natin. Even the goodness is not the goal. Hard to be humble. Yeah, sense of superiority. Hard to learn. They say they know it all. In the mode of passion, it's hard, obstacle yan to perform spiritual life kasi attach sila dun sa fruits. Ang dami ko pang unfinished business, ba't ako mag-chant? We have to work 24 hours a day. No sleep till famous. So, ang dami nating attachment yan. Often willing to sin to fulfill desire. We're willing to perform illegal acts or abuse to others or sin para ma-fulfill lang yung mga desire natin. So, wala silang determination in performing ng Bhakti Yoga. Kasi ang goal nila is attachment dun sa material na bagay. To be famous, sa career nila, diba? To be rich. In the mode of ignorance, wala. Wala, lazy sila. Anong obstacle doon? Too deluded to recognize Krishna. Sobrang foolish nila. Too lazy nga eh. Tamad-tamad lang. So the race of prominence, ito na ang ating inner battle. Ito na yung build-up na ito. Race of prominence, when Srila Prabhupada was in Hawaii in the 70s, paglabas nila galing sa temple, nagbigay siya ng class. Hawaii is like a tropical country, same sa atin. So may rainbow. And poetically, he described kasama sa mga disciple niya, described sa disciples niya yung modes of material nature is like the rainbow. Diba may RGB? Diba? And if you mix them, mag-produce ng iba't ibang kulay. Diba? Same din to. Bawat tao is a mixture of different colors. Kasi yung rainbow nga, di ba, mixture siya. Bawat tao is a mixture of modes of nature. You may be 25% goodness, 25% passion, 50% ignorance. So just see the way, yung schedule ng buhay mo. Kaya yung mga those who are approaching me to be their mentee or student, tas ako yung ginagawa na ng as a service sa mentor, ganun din sa spiritual teachers. Importante to know ano yung schedule mo sa araw. Sulat mo, patingin. You will see paano ka nag-decide sa buhay mo. Ilang percentage yan yung mode of ignorance. Ilang percentage yan yung mode of passion, ilang percentage yung mode of goodness. In our mind, ganun palagi. That's our own inner battle. Habang we're going to our depression, to our anxiety, the mode of ignorance are winning. Nag-uunahan sila. Yung mga tatlo may hawak na yan. Diba? Pagalingan sila to control you. Pero, yung decision kung saan ka pupunta is your own free will. Pupunta ka ba sa higher consciousness mo, sa higher self mo, or mag-dive deep ka dun sa darkness of your lower self? Araw-araw yan na battle. Doesn't mean okay ka ngayon, nag-chant ako, radha-chara, nagawa ko assignment, umattend ako ng classes, di lang isa, pati sa gabi, diba, ang peaceful ko ngayon, diba, bukas hindi. Ibang usapan bukas. Or minsan okay ka sa umaga, sa pagdating ng tanghali, iba na. May isang trigger lang, may isang nag-provoke sa'yo, tapos iba na kagad yung mood mo, iba na yung consciousness. Because it's a race, unahan yan, nag-uunahan sila. You cannot be off guard, na okay ka lang. Because the lower modes natin is kakainin tayo. The modes of ignorance, kakainin ka ng darkness. Lalo na kung that's much more on your default. So you have to fight for it. Diba? You don't have to shy away from your own inner demon. Sabi nga, you have to face it. How? Paano mo nalagpasan to modes of nature na to? The practice of Bhakti Yoga, hindi natin gusto mapunta sa mode of goodness lang. This is not the goal. This is the process. If you are in that mode of goodness palagi, it's easier to perform spiritual activities. You are clean, your thinking is clear, yung lifestyle mo is in the mode of goodness. Para siyang runway. Runway sa airport. The more mas maganda yung buhay mo as in a mode of goodness, mas mahaba yung runway mo, mas madali mag-take off yung aeroplano, which is the spiritual life. Pero hindi pwedeng mode of goodness ka lang. Kasi good karma lang yun eh. Heavenly planets ka sa baba ka ulit. So this is the going beyond or transcending the three modes of material nature. Easier kapag nasa mode of goodness ka palagi. Then to perform spiritual activities, it'd be easier. So ito yun, discuss natin yung acting and dying. This is the resultant. Mode of goodness, heavenly planet ka. Demigods ka doon, di ba? Hindi mo kailangan mag-skincare kasi maganda talaga balat mo doon. Pearl-like. May mga servants ka. In the mode of ignorance, nakita mo? Of course, lower planetary system. Diba? In the mode of passion, yes. Very passionate, same. So we discussed this about. Pure life, yung letter P natin dun sa trapped. Mamchayo Vyabhicharena Bhakti Yugena Sevate Sagunan Samitya Taitan Brahma Bhuyaya Kalpate. One who engages in full devotional service, that's Bhakti Yoga, and failing in all circumstances, being very steady, at once transcends the modes of material nature and thus comes to the level of Brahman. So these modes of material nature, hindi ka basta-basta makakatakas. But if one performs spiritual activities, Krishna consciousness, or Bhakti Yoga, you are transcending this. And you'll be in the level of Brahman. Yung higher self mo, higher consciousness mo, andun ka. Almost the level nga ni Lord Brahma, the highest demigod. So yes, it is always an inner battle. Palagi, araw-araw. Hindi ko alam sino naka-experience dito na may board meeting sa utak nila, tapos minsan hindi nagkakasundo. Diba? Teka lang, meeting muna tayo guys, ha? Tapos kayo na lang, hindi pa kayo magkakasundo. Hindi mo pa ma-facilitate yung mga nagbi-meeting doon. Sana unti-unti lang yan, di ba? Mahirap pag sobrang dami nila. Yeah. Tapos minsan, pag may tao, wag mo naman verbalize. Pag ikaw lang mag-isa, okay lang. Yung self-talk mo, pwede mo i-verbalize. Mahirap pag pag lumalabas na personality mo, di ba? Minsan babae ka, minsan boss ka, tas isa bata, di ba? That would be, how they call this? Multiple personality disorder, di ba? But yeah, different you inside. The lower self, the higher self, di ba? And the passionate self. You must recognize bakit kailangan ng spiritual intelligence kasi naiintindihan mo yung nangyayari sa mind mo. Again, your mind could be your best friend or your worst enemy. How to control it? You have the spiritual intelligence. How to have that spiritual intelligence? This knowledge. And sino kailangan natin? Kasi we're very inexperienced. We need to have our guide, our spiritual mentors. We might think, desidido ka na, nakapaggawa na ng resolution yung board of directors sa utak mo. And you have to consult yung teacher mo. Ano yung sabihin sa'yo, all of you are in illusion. Naisip mo. Diba? Kaya si Arjuna is always, he surrendered kay Krishna. Kasi alam niya, hindi niya kaya. We need our teachers. From that darkness, we need the light, torchlight of knowledge from the spiritual teacher. In the humble mood, we approach the teachers. So yes, inner battle palagi. Hindi nawawala yan. Hindi lang buong araw. Ano yung best way to be sober, to be clear on that? Pag nang-experience mo na yan, maganda yun kasi na-acknowledge mo. Pag di mo na-acknowledge, mas mahirap. Pero pag ito na naman siya. Diba? Matutulog ba ako? Tapusin ko yung mga deadline ko. Diba? May art show na ako next week ka. Antayin ko ba yung mga cramming ko? Kasi sabi nila, deadline is the best motivation. Diba? So, ang daming pwede mangyari. And minsan, hindi ka na nag-iisip, gagawin mo na out of muscle memory, di ba? Tumigil ka na mag-drugs, pero pag andyan na yung mga barkada mo, go ka na go. Or tumigil ka na mag-sigarilyo. Without even thinking, kuha ka ng cigarette, hindi ka kagad. Kasi may muscle memory na siya. Nanalo na yung mode of ignorance. Yung old habits natin, mag-relapse, di ba? Nakarinig ka lang ng isang song, depressed ka na uli. Naalala mo uli ng mga nakaraan, di ba? You're not in control of the emotion. We should recognize this. Acknowledge na nangyayari yun. In that way, naiintindihan mo. Then, balikan mo yung foundation natin. Bakit tayo may mga session sa yoga philosophy? Ano yung pinag-usapan natin doon? The mind could be the best friend or worst enemy. Okay, recognize. Diba? You have to control the senses kasi yung senses natin could sometimes be the cause. Diba? Or siya yung mag-act. Diba? Hindi ko na pupuntahan tong sitwasyon na to. Diba? Using your intelligence. Ano yung dapat mong gawin? Grab your chapamala and mantra meditate. Or, kausapin mo yung teacher mo, yung spiritual mentor mo. Seek for advice. Don't ever think na kayang-kaya mo na mag-isa. Don't be, yung pride natin, yung false ego natin. Kaya mo yan. Ang dami pinagdaanan. Diba? Yes, you may be. Pero that's the purpose of true friend. Diba? We can ask them, seek for advice. You don't have to do it all. Diba? Kaya mayroon tayong circle of friends. Marami doon magdi-disagree, marami mag-agree. Pero at least you know yung opinion nila. What they think. At the same time, sila yung nakakita outside the box. Yung bigger picture. Minsan pag ganun tayo naka-zoom in tayo, ang hirap malaman eh. Diba? Pag nandun ka sa Makati, naliligaw-ligaw ka, sa daming liko, may one way. Kailangan mo ng GPS, kailangan mo ng bigger picture. Para mas makita mo, ito pala yung destination ko, papuntang north. Ba't ba ako pasakot at paikot-ikot? Same, that's the help ng ating spiritual teacher. And para malaman natin, di ba pag nag-GPS ka, naliligaw ka kakahanap. Para malaman mo kung saan ka na, kailangan mo mag-refresh. Yung find me button doon. That is your japa. So you have your connection, you have your weapon sa inner battle mo. You don't have to shy away with your inner battle. Sometimes you have to face them. Or sometimes you have to ignore. Pero, being your higher self. Ikaw lang yan. Sarili mo lang yan. Pero ang goal natin na sa higher self tayo. And this is your connection kay Krishna. This is your weapon sa inner battle natin. So, you have your Japamala with you. Ayun yung, weapon nyo. Weapon of choice. Thank you very much. Don't forget to chant your rounds today. Kasi lahat may inner battle. And be sensitive enough kasi pagpunta mo sa paligid mo, hindi lang ikaw yung may inner battle ha. Don't be so self-centered. Lahat ng tao sa paligid natin may kanya-kanyang inner battle. That is trapped. Kasi we're trapped in this material realm, in this material body. It will be in association of these three modes. Please type, ano yung three modes of material nature? In sequence. Yes. If you know the Sanskrit, okay. Yogi, sattva gun. So may mga food in the mode of goodness, sattvic food. Mode of passion, diba? Mode of ignorance. Didiscuss natin further yon. Yung time, yung attitude in three modes. So you raise for prominence kasi nag-uunahan sila. Kung sinong mas lamang, ilang percentage. And yung actions natin will determine kung ano yung mood natin at the same time, ano yung destination natin after that. Pero hindi natin yung gusto yon. Hindi lang din natin gusto yung mode of goodness. Although we have to be always in the mode of goodness, not all the time. Sometimes you need sleep in the mode of ignorance. Sa gabi kailangan mo gamitin yon. Pero di kailangan buong araw lethargic ka. Passion, ganun din, you have to work, di ba? Kailangan mo magpako gumamit ng martilyo sa bahay. Hindi ka pwede mode of goodness lang, di ba? So you have to use it. But you have to be in control of that. And then, pag di mo kailangan gamitin yung martilyo, kailangan mo ibalik sa toolbox. Just like our anger. Minsan kailangan mo siya gamitin. Gamitin na, hindi ikaw yung gagamitin ng anger. You're in control. So we need to be in the pure life, which is spiritual life, Krishna consciousness. Beyond to sa material nature. Beyond to sa three modes of material nature. That is connection kay Krishna. Is beyond these three modes. So wala tayong assignment to be na kailangan isulat. Pero personal assignment for you, for everyone. Try to observe now. From this, starting now. Ano yung mga modes of nature na mga modes mo sa buhay in your day? Habang nangyayari, pag nag-iisip ka, anong decision to? Mode of goodness is ignorance or passion? Diba? And check your schedule of the day. If wala ka pang schedule of the day, hindi nakasulat yon, try to write it. Mas makikita mo. Kung artist ka, you want more production, be productive, sulat mo. Diba? Baka 10 hours a day, 15 hours a day, nagpe-prepare ka lang doon sa paggabi na ako gagawa. Pagdating ng gabi, hindi ka nagagawa. Mas creative ako sa gabi. The rest of the day, ang dami mong ibang ginagawa. Pagdating mo ng gabi, may emergency. Hindi ko nagawa na naman yung bukas na lang. So check your schedule. Sabi nga, if you plan to fail, you fail to plan. So, sulat mo yung schedule mo the rest of the day. Sulat mo in the rest of the week. Try to measure kung ano yung mga nagagawa mo sa araw. And ano yung mga decision making mo palagi. Anong mga modes yun. So, you have the free will. This is one of within your power. Kung ano yung pipiliin mo sa mga to. And ano yung weapon natin? Last, before tayo mag-photo op. What is our weapon in this battle, inner battle? You can type. Patingin nga. Na habang binubuksan natin yung mga camera natin. Yes. Chant deeply. And minimum rounds yun, ha? Hindi ibig sabihin hindi ka na pwede lumagpas. Walang maximum. Walang cap. But there's a minimum. Minimum, hindi ka bababa. So, yung 0, hindi minimum yun. Ano yun? Wala yun, wala. So, kailangan tayo mag-commit. I could not say and explain it. You have to experience it. Just like analogy, hindi mo pwedeng tignan yung bottle ng honey. Kahit dilaan mo pa yung labas ng bottle na yun, hindi mo malalasahan yung honey. You have to experience it. You must chant. Yan. For the sake, sige, tapusin mo yung class natin, course natin, just chant. If you don't want to continue it. If you want to continue it, better. It will make a great difference sa buhay natin. So, please open your camera. Photo tayo. Hello. Eh, John, kasama yung mga picture ng baby. Yung mga kiddos mo. Ganda ng art ni Adam sa likod. Project mo ngayon yan. Nalala ko si kailan mo si Rafi Napay. O kaya sino yung sa Bataan. May nagsa sa mga yarn and all. Yan, picture tayo everyone. Please open your camera. Nagbago yung bucket hat ni Milk. Hindi yung nakita ko araw-araw. Count of 3, 1, 2, 3. 1 more, 1, 2, 3. Thank you very much, my dear ones. Please be Krishna conscious today and every day. Chant your rounds and read the books. If you want yung mga ating kirtan, it will help as well to put us in the spiritual mood. And be sensitive sa mga paligid natin. Hindi lang tayo may inner battle. Lahat sila. Lahat sa paligid. Yung iba hindi nila alam meron silang inner battle. If you could be an instrument to help them, even without speaking, para ma-elevate yung sarili nila into higher self nila, that's best. If you could say something, they would allow. Nag-ask sila ng question, you don't have to shove this philosophy sa throat nila. Magmumukha kang trip na ito. Umatan ka lang ng klase, self-righteous ka na. No, hindi natin role yun. If they inquire, yes, please. If they want to read a book, lend them a book. Pera mo sila. Yes, we will have fifth batch soon. Hindi ko pa napopost yung poster. And we will have another course, the leadership course guided by the scriptures. It's the start of the spiritual revolution. Thank you very much, my dear ones. Alagaan nyo na yung mga kiddos nyo dyan. Pakainin sila. Mamaya, pag nakita nila ako, siya pala yung dahilan ba't nagugutom kami. Si Mami din nagluluto. So yes, tignan natin yung mga sa comment box. And if you need to, go. Thank you very much, RJ, Joanne, Shay, si Alet, mga kachat natin, si JP, Nicole, Joe Namataji, McCoy, Prabhu, Milk, Adam, Oliver, Nicole, mali si Nicole, si Carla, si Donna, Nika, si Nel, Noemi, Aris, Prabhu, Princess, Diana, Gail, JM, Levi, Aika, Emma. Gusto niyo ba yung bagong design ng backdrop natin? Kita niyo ba? Ano yung mga project ngayon? Pag sinipag pa ako magbuhat ng mga halaman, layo kasi siguro mga 300 meters na buhatan nandun sa malapit sa gate yung mga nakapaso eh. Although pag lumabas ka rito, parang ganyan din. Dito lang na namin pinagkukuha yan. Sa gubat lang din. So, nagharap lang ako ng sakit na katawan kasi minsan nilalabas ko sila. So, yes, ayun sila. Parang di naman yata kasi may bintana. Tingnan natin kung gaano ako kaplantito. How's my Dr. Green Thumb? Let's read. Napakahirap ng pridelessness, ano po, kasi mahirap maging humble pag matalino ka. Meron kang physical advantage and all, madalang ako makita ng ganyan. Yes. Sabi nga, if one is doing great things, tapos mayabang siya, di mo makikita yung greatness niya. Makita mo mayabang lang siya. Proud lang siya. If one is seeing yung mga great personalities, yung mga skilled, talented, di ba? Or rich person, because of their entrepreneurship and all, tas humble sila, mas makikita mo yung greatness nila. Hindi sila matatabunan ng pride. Di ba? When I was younger, I was into really underground music. Into music, into bands and all. Unless, totoo yun. Common story. Yung mga nasa 27 Club, madalas na sa mga banda yan, di ba? Start sila from the bottom, practice sila sa mga garahe, tapos nandiyan yung fame, di ba? Iwanan nila yung mga girlfriends nila, papalit nila sa mga roadie nila ng mga babae. Drugs, alcohol, money, di ba? Boy rockstar. Dan wala, sira na lahat. Ilan lang banda makikita mo ng mga buo pa sila hanggang ngayon. Di ba? The rest, kahit naman, kahit those are really into unity ng purpose ng band nila, kahit Rage Against the Machine, diba, purpose nila is to become anarchists and all. Hindi sila magkakasundo kasi the most dangerous thing sa mga endeavor natin, lalong-lalo sa mga leaders, is yung success. How will you handle success? So yan. And ayun yung false ego pag dumating na yan. Even the leaders, the kings, di ba? Humble beginning, andyan na yung power, andyan na yung money, andyan na yung fame, di ba? Nabuhay rockstar. Tingnan natin, doon makikita yung character ng isang tao. And that's why sobrang importante yung may guide tayo. We have the true friend that could check us. Tapos makikinig tayo sa kanila. Di ba? Yung iba, kilala ka from yung from the bottom ng buhay mo. They could check, di ba? Nagbabago ka na. Nakain ka ng fame, nakain ka ng money. Diba? Hindi ka naman ganyan dati. We are lucky if may ganun tayo, tapos nakikinig tayo sa kanila. Pero we are most fortunate if we have spiritual teachers. Diba? They don't have ulterior motives from us. They're very nice. Hindi ka makakuha ng spiritual teacher, tapos babayaran mo sila out of parang sweldo, no? Hindi ganun. It is out of love, cause thankless task. Hindi ka pwedeng, may coach ka, tapos may life coach ka, tapos may monthly payment. No? The how do you pay back sa mga spiritual teachers is you serve them, as well as you help them also to help others. Yung iba mini-maintain nila yung mga traveling monks and teachers kasi hindi sila nag-work. They help them to maintain themselves and also maintain yung pagtulong sa iba. So, pero hindi siya work, hindi siya job. So, walang ulterior motives. The rest of the day, or ibang mga leaders, may mga advisors sila, even some great leaders, mga president. Yung iba hindi. Yung iba doon, hindi mo alam, enemies nila yon. Or may kanya-kanya ulterior motive. May sariling business, may sariling department. That's why in the scriptures, you could see great leaders and kings, mga advisors nila, aside sa mga great kings then, which are considered as Raja Rishi or saintly kings. Karamihan sa advisors nila is mga monk, mga saintly person, sadhus or sages. So for them to be balanced, guided. Yan. Another spiritual eye, may dagdag silang spiritual eye. But sabi daw, bad daw pag nagsunog. May nakuha. Ano nagsunog? Masamang tao lang daw. Again, this is, anong sabi yon? We have to check saan galing yung sabi. It will be, sabi-sabi would be just like tradition. Or wala naman talaga pinanggalingan. Malas daw yung ganito. Ganyan. Disney film. Yan, yung multiple personality. Brainstorming, sometimes we don't agree at the same topic. Yes. Mag-Netflix pa ba ako or mag-work na ako? Tapos nag-aaway kayong samahin mo. Inner battle. This inner battle could be as superficial as yung mga small things are very deep. I have full conversation with myself sometimes. Akala ko nasusundan ng kausap ko in real life. Yung train of thought. Exactly. That is the definition of sanity. Kapag kaya mo nang discern na nag-uusap ka sa sarili mo, tapos sino yung kausap mo. Diba? Yung mga magagaling na speaker, alam nila yung audience palagi. Diba? Kaya niya mag-board meeting habang nagkasalita sa front of people. O, ito na yung bibigay mong words, diba? May teamwork sila doon. Pero pag nagkagulo sila sa sarili mo, tapos pag may kausap ka na parang, teka lang. Parang ikaw lang nagkasundo. Tapos hindi nila magets. So that's sanity. And yung maturity naman is to be able to know kung ano yung mga kailangan natin in our actions, in our perceptions, and different lenses. Diba? Minsan bigger picture, minsan kailangan natin ng mag-zoom in dun sa mga scenario. Maturity yon. Tapos minsan kailangan mo tumingin, okay, ang perspective nung taong nung to is ganito, baka kaya siya nakapagsalita ng ganyan, may pinagdadaanan siya, ito yung past niya. To be able to see things in different lenses. Pag mahilig ka sa camera, may wide lens, may telephoto, may macro, may pang portrait, different aperture. Maturity is to be able to change lens palagi sa mga scenario sa paligid. O galit ka sa presidente, kailangan mo na awayan yung best friend mo. Diba? Meron lang naman kayong, meron lang naman kayong differences eh. Hindi mo kailangan personalin. Or anti-vaccine ka o pro-vaccine ka, kailangan mo nang sarayan yung buhay nila, i-stock pa yung mga pamilya nila, tapos isara mo sa ito. So, be able to see. Diba? Malay mo kaya pro-vaccine siya kasi namatay na siya ng ilang beses. Kahit di niya naiintindihan. Gusto na lang niya ng solution. Tapos this anti-vaccine kasi never siya naka-experience. Hindi niya nakita talaga. So, to be able to see yung mga different angles sa scenario is a sign of maturity. What more pa yung spiritual maturity? To be able to add yung galing sa sastra, sa yoga philosophy, and apply it. Ito yung death. Sabi sa pinag-aralan namin. The body only experience the death, but yung soul will transfer. So knowing that, may dagdagan na lens, which is very special, the spiritual lens. That is a sign of maturity. Let's see. Marami pala sa baba. Yan. Next batch leadership. Yes. Sige. We'll announce that. Pinag-iisipan ko pa kung umaga or gabi yung next na sa leadership or yung 5th batch or umaga or gabi. I don't know. Kayo ba? Anong prefer nyo ba? 9 to 10 or 7 to 8? Or 5 to 6? Although 7 to 8 palagi meron na rin ako class. Too much humbleness is boastfulness. Depende pa rin. If you're boasting that you're humble, that's hindi humble. Diba? Hirap maging humble, no? Ako nga, try ko maging humble ako eh. Teka lang. Diba? Paano nangyari yun? Yung mga humble na tao, never nilang consider na humble sila. They could give humble opinion. Makikita mo paano sila makipag-deal sa tao. Hi, Scarlett. Si Scarlett ba yan? Yan. So, depende kung paano yung dealings mo sa mga paligid, di ba? If you're having, kunyari, meron kang teamwork, nag-share ka ng mga opinion, or nag-share kayo nag-brainstorming kayo in a team, di ba? How you handle yung opinion ng iba, how you respect, kahit di ka nag-agree, di ba? You don't have to claim. You have to just practice humility. And paano maging humble? You have to practice it. That's why we're practicing it palagi. In the beginning, in the after. Kaya nga yung pinaka-importanting mudra. Di ba sa mudra, ang dami mga ginagawa nila sa mga yogi. Ang dami pa. Basta. Ginamit nila sa mga energy yung mudra na yon. Yeah, because it's coming from the Vedas. Most important mudra is pranam. Form of humility. And most important asana is bowing down. The Bible neither favors nor forbids the process of cremation. Nevertheless, many Christians believe that their bodies will be ineligible for resurrection if they are cremated. Marami na nagsabi in different perspective ng Bible. When Christ when Jesus or God comes back to earth, babalik yung mabubuhay yung mga body. Kaya hindi nila inaano. Bad trip yun, di ba? Paano pag yung body mo ngayon may kapansanan? Ayun yung forever na eternal na ano mo, body mo. Dapat yung body ko yung maganda. Paparatoke na ako ngayon para pag yung eternal life ko, pag bumalik si God, maganda ako. O para pag sumabog yung aeroplano, nadurog ka. Pagbalik mo, durog-durog ka doon. Because we're not the body. We have to understand that. Yeah, may iba kasi, nagka-travel kasi ako, may lumapit sa akin. Ito yung dinidebate niya. Alam sa Hare Krishna, tapos binabato niya sa akin. Tapos nagkataka, teka lang. Paano yun, di ba? Paano pag di maganda yung body mo, di ba? Or matanda-matanda ka na, pag bumalik si God, yung body mo matanda na rin. Or kaya baby ka. Forever kang baby. Eternal na ano mo yung baby. We have to really know that we're not the body. We're the spirit soul. Cremation, just burning the body, removing our attachment. Just like kung attach ka sa ex mo, tanggalin mo na yung mga gamit sa bahay niyo, soli mo na, or pamigay mo na. Kung tingin ka ng tingin dyan, hindi ka maka-move on. Diba? Kailangan mo i-block or unfollow mo na. Yung araw-araw tingin ka ng tingin. Yung may bago siyang friend, lahat na lang, di ba? Ganun yun. Ganun din sa body natin. If we're too attached, problema. Magkaka-wrinkles ka talaga, hindi maiwasan yan, puputi yung buhok mo, or diba, magiging 5 head ka na. 4 head pa naman ako eh. Kung yung 5 head ka na, or magiging 6 head ka na, angat talaga yan, depende sa lahi. Your attachment will be the cause of suffering. So, ganun din. I don't, just my own opinion, I don't believe yung ganun mangyayari. It's not written in the Bible. A lot of the belief sa mga iba-ibang religion is based on opinion lang ng ibang teachers nila. Again, that's why importante yung Guru, Sadhu, and Sastra. If may mga leaders, may mga opinion sila, even Bhagavad Gita, tapos wala sa scriptures, yung mga sadhu, pagkasabi mo, di ba? Hindi valid yan, hindi genuine yan. You have to be double checking, check and balance yun, kaya nasa scriptures. And maraming tao will just give opinion. Sabi ni ganito sa book na ganito, ito yan. Di ba? In their opinion, they will describe. Ang goal natin is magpayaman. That's prosperity. If mayaman ka, mahal ka ng Diyos. Kaya yung Bible study nila is mag-uusap sila about investment. Doesn't make sense. Diba? Wala sa Bible yun. I've read anyway. Yung bata ako, may ako magbasa ng Bible. Kasi kasama ko palagi pare and madre. But of course, again, different version ng mga Bible ngayon. So what I'm saying is based on yung inaral namin. For sure, sa iba-iba rin. May channel nga na nagidebate lang yung dalawang grupo based on one Bible, di ba? So, same. Pero, when I cannot remember, nung nag-aaral kami, saka sa seminary ako, may version sila ng Bible na sinasabi nila na much more malapit. Alam mo ba yun, Jonah? Mas malapit dun sa real na translation ng Latin. Kasi what happened was, in the history, a lot of people are translating the Latin words sa Bible into their own languages. Depende sa kanilang ulterior motive, sa grupo nila, or just, best-selling book yun eh. Diba? Pera yun, pag ikaw yung author nun, ikaw yung nag-translate nun. And walang basis sa teacher, walang basis sa sadhu, hindi na check ng mga yun. Tapos di sila practitioner din ng Bible, they just translated. So, ang daming version, sadly, kaya nag-water down. Kaya may nagsabi na priest sa akin nun, is ito yung Bible na ginagamit din nila and much more na malapit, hindi sabing 100%, much more malapit dun sa version, the real version ng Latin na yun. So of course, may mga along the way may mga kings na because yung guru and disciple relationship, it was, how do you call this, altered by other leaders. If the leaders just want yung sense gratification nila. Originally, yung kingdom is based on scriptures. And ngayon gusto nila hiwalayin kasi they want to do something else na hindi based dito. And yung mga tao would believe, huwag niyo pagaluin para hindi magkagulo. We will learn that dun sa leadership and spirituality. Bakit dati kaya nila i-maintain yung one emperor in the whole earth? Too much goodness daw is katangahan. Hindi na goodness yon. Ignorance na yon. If too much goodness, we don't know. May practical side ng goodness, di ba? So this is ay nagigets ko si Mataji. This is what you call um actions without using the intelligence. Ikaw ba naman alagaan mo yung may ahas na pumunta doon sa inyo. Tapos wag niyo galawin, living entity 'yan, di ba? Tas poisonous snake. Talagang ibabite ka talaga niyan. Kasi nature nila 'yun eh. I forget my story. Tatawid sila ng ilog. Tortoise yata yun. Tapos may scorpion. Kailangan tumawid din ng ilog. Tapos sinakay niya yung scorpion. Tapos nakapunta sila doon sa kabilang side. Tapos yung scorpion, inistang siya. Ayun yung nature ng scorpion eh. So you don't have to, how do they call this? Be foolish. Even in the garb of being sa mode of goodness. Merong criminal, tapos paulit-ulit yung crime niya. 'Di ba? Rape, murder, tapos nahuli na siya, 'di ba? Hindi, pakawalan niyo, kawawa naman, may family siya. Ulitin niya 'yon. 'Di ba? Hindi siya natuto, he didn't protect the whole society, tuloy-tuloy yung karma niya. So a great leader could see yung different angles. King James Version, parang ganun yata yun, JM. Hindi ko matandaan. It was too long ago. I think so. Most people say mga taong may yumayaman in material aspect are more blessed by God. Most people say. But not really. Ang dami ko kailang mayayaman na talagang hindi nga atheist eh. Ano nga sila? Demoniac nga eh. Diba? Blessed by God. Eh paano pag drug lord pero mayaman? Are they blessed? This is one of my questions when I was younger. Happy are the poor because they love them. God loved them the most. Happy are the sick. Diba? God loved them, pero hindi yung reason bakit sila naging mahirap. Or hindi yung reason bakit sila nagkaroon ng kapansanan. God loved everyone equally, actually. Pero yung reason nun is based on them. Again, merong interpretation yung mga tao kasi para mapalusutan na lang yung yung nangyayari. But God loved everyone, 'di ba? Sabi nga lahat ng ibon mahal ng Diyos, 'di ba? Ano kanta 'yon? Ang mga ibon na lumilipad ay mahal ng Diyos. So wag ka kumain ng fried chicken ha. Wag ka maging philosopher, hindi naman lumilipad yun. Lumilipad pa rin yung chicken. Pero don't eat the chicken kasi love siya ni God. 'Di ba? Make sense. So, kasi may mga sariling interpretation sila eh. Yung Ten Commandments nga, ang daming interpretation, ginawang dalawa na lang eh. Hindi nila ma-love yung neighbor nila. Diba? Hindi nila magawa yung thou shall not kill. Diba? The way they eat, they kill. Hindi nila ma-murder yung tinawag na yun eh. Kill. Killing is, diba? O patayin mo na yung manok para kainin natin. Kill yun, diba? Thou shall not kill. So, ang daming interpretation, ginawang dalawa na lang yung binago nila, inedit nila. Tingnan ba si Moses matutuwa doon? Sabi ko bang dalawa lang yan? Binaba ko rito 10 commandments. So again, because of ulterior motives. Diba? We have to see it. Pag may attachment tayo doon sa kinalakihan natin, masaktan tayo. We have to see it in much more eyes of spiritual eye kung paano intindihan to. I've learned this with all honesty sa mga teachers ko na priest sa madre. I've learned this kind of thinking. They build me up to be a monk, honestly. The way they train me. Diba? Isa ako sa pinakamakulit na estudyante doon, pero di ako ma-absent sa religion class. So, by the care ng mga alam ko, naalala ko nga eh. When I was young, tapos parang na-aksidente yata ako, puro putik ako. Tapos pinulugon ako ng mga madre. Hinose down nila ako. Tapos may bagong damit. Sobrang mata G, sobrang mother yung treatment nila sa mga bata. Pero grabe talaga kulit kasi nun. Yan. Yan? Too much goodness or trust sometimes make one a gullible fool. Yes, tama. Nakuha talaga ni Jonah. Alam ni Jonah kung paano mag-isip, nakuha niya into words. Mata G ko yan. According to scholars, the Hebrew version of the Bible contained both linguistic and numerical meanings. This is in fact is another indicator of it being watered down. Yes. Even Bible was being tried to be watered down. Hundreds of version ng Bhagavad Gita. Hundreds of version ng Bhagavad Gita. Yung mga yogi teachers training nyo nga, tingnan nyo kung ano yung mga Bhagavad Gita na yun. Kung ano lang nakalagay. Pag tinignan mo, pinaikot-ikot lang to ah. Flowery words lang eh. Kaya nga there should be the as it is. Yung nag-translate, nagka-practice nun, di ba? May teacher din. Bible is the same. Almost every version. Almost every version may ganun. Same, di ba? Balita nga lang eh. Di ba? May nililigawan siya dito sa barangay na to, pagdating sa kabilang barangay, buntis na eh. Same thing. Di ba? Ganon ka degraded yung mind ng tao ngayon. They could not pass down. This knowledge was being passed down before by teachers and students through ears. They have to write it down kasi gano'n na nga yung thinking ng mga tao. Alam mo yung larong pass the message. Pati sa dulo ang gulo na, di ba? Same. Paano pa yung mga knowledge? There's a delicate balance in everything. Can be too nice, can be too harsh. Discernment is very important. It doesn't mean na wala ka ng pangil kasi you're practicing bhakti yoga. Pag wala ka ng pangil, hindi ka na mag-grow ng hood mo. Just like yung fangless na na snake. Tapos inabuse na sila ng mga tao. Pinaglaro na siya ng mga ibang. Tapos nagsumbong siya dun sa niya. I forgot the name nung kasama ni Levi. Nakikita ko sa Instagram eh. Masaya ni Levi. Tagal siya nakilala pero pinakamasaya siya ngayon. So yung fangless na snake doesn't mean na you will let everyone, all the entities na to abuse you. Doesn't mean na hindi mo na-spread yung hood mo. Di ba yung cobra, pag in-spread yung hood niya, takot ka na. Same. Di ba? Hindi porket yogi ka na, hindi ka na mag-lock ng door, hindi ka na marunong mag-self-defense, hindi mo na poprotektahan yung sarili mo, yung family mo, di ba? Because nature, the material nature, they are meant to they're meant to abuse. So you have to. Yan. So yan, delicate balance yun. There's a sweet spot. So yes, I have to stop kasi hindi niyo ako pipigilan. Magkakwento. I have another meeting at 11, so kailangan ko na mag-brunch. Maraming salamat, my dear ones. Hare Krishna, I'll see you again. Sabado ba ngayon? Friday. I'll see you again tomorrow. And I will post, there's a kirtan session, a music meditation session, mamayang 7 o'clock. It will be Facebook Live saka Zoom. So I'll post it later if you want to join. Kita-kits. And see you again tomorrow. Be Krishna conscious. RJ, Shay, Oliver, Jonah, Joanne, Levi. Anong name ng kasama mo, Levi? Si Adam, si McCoy, JP, si Alet, Carla, Diana, si Princess, Nell, Aika, Emma, JM. Hare Krishna. Hindi ko nakita. Nag-type ka ba? Hare Krishna, everyone. High five. Later.